Okay, so we're going to add material to this simple cube that I've created here. There's a backdrop. This is using Vectary, and I've added a light just to highlight so we can see some cast shadows. The actual material is stone on the background. But remember, that's the one that's selected. And then now selecting the cube, it's got a material called diamond. I want to add my own texture. So I'm going to make sure I've got that highlighted. I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to click on the coloured square here. If I just want to colour it, I would just click on here and it would make it blue. However, if I actually click on the list of options, I get texture. I select texture. I'm going to now, at this point, is where I can upload my own texture. So I'm going to go upload. I've got the stone one from a model I've already created in SketchUp. That's where this JPEG file has come from. And I've put it on to the cube, and you see how it's arrived on the cube. It lets me adjust the colours and such like, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. At this moment, I'm now just going to make some other adjustments. And you can see how the texture's on the top surface, but not down these surfaces. This is to do with texture projection. So you need to make some adjustments. And it depends on the shape of your cube, your object that you're colouring or texturing. At the moment, it's got plain selected. If I now select this one, it should edit the texture projection. I'm just going to check again. Go on to here, solid, texture, upload. Oh, selected the wrong thing now. Sorry. See what happened? I selected the background and I've accidentally now changed my texture of my stone. So I'm going to actually change that back and put solid on there and leave that alone. I don't want to touch the background. I'm going to select the cube again. Now change the texture projection. So we're going to make sure you've got the right object selected. So we've got, now the texture is all over it. I could, if it was more spherical, I could go for this option. See, it's twisted it a little and put it inside the ball. Or this option. It's wrapped it around like a tin but flattened the top. This one then is for multifaceted. Okay? So if you've got something that's got multiple facets, if you're all flat planes, this is the one you would choose. So something like the bus shelter, this is the one you would choose. I'm just going to choose this one only because it's a cube that I've got on the screen. Now you've got these settings that you can play around with. Roughness is quite a useful one just to make it coarser sometimes. Depending on your material, metalness makes them more or less shiny. Obviously stone isn't particularly shiny, so I'm not touching that. Then you've got some advanced options. Really don't touch any of these, not for the sort of work we're doing, but you might go down to the texture transformations. I'm just going to turn that one off so I can bring the texture transformations. You see tiling, and I think of a pattern is a tile, and it's repeated to create that repeat pattern. If your tiling is too big, you can adjust it here. So by increasing the numbers, I'm just going to type in 4 and 4. You should start to see that I've now got a much tighter stone effect on my thing. So this is where you can bring in the proportions of your tile and make it more realistic so that your slabs of stone and not sort of 20 foot by 20 foot in your bus shelter and you only got 3 pieces. Instead, they're about 1 foot by 1 foot. And this is just playing around with this tiling. You can do it off scale, you don't have to do the same numbers. It will slightly edit it, so it depends on how you want it to look. Okay. So I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to reset the material and go through that again. Okay. So remember, you've got a background and you've got the cube. Remember to click on the cube. Because I am texturing the whole of this cube, first thing I need to check is my texture projection. What am I covering? Okay, so this is a 3D cube. Making sure I've got that selected. Can you see how it keeps slipping to the other one? Okay, I go to then, so it's got that cube selected. It tells me the material at the moment is called Colorado. I'm going to click on that, on the color box, and go to solid and change it to texture. This then gives me the option to either add in some textures. There are some in this thing. There are a few that I've already uploaded already. So the ones that you upload are in there. You can go to wherever you've downloaded your JPEG files, upload, copy it, open it, and there we have it. We can make some adjustments to the color. So I'm going to make it slightly reddier, a little bit more hue or less hue, a bit grey, sort of reddy grey brightness. And you can see, because you can play with the settings and even alter the colour of your material at this point. I'm going to now leave all of these settings, but I am going to the texture transformation. And I'm going to change the scale of it. I'm going to do it 3 by 3 this time. And it's just made it a bit smaller. Let me just check that that has happened. No, it didn't happen. I'll probably change the background instead, but it doesn't matter because it's a flat colour. There we are. You can see it change. So it's again being careful that you've got the actual thing selected. Preview. And now you can see that it is tiled. On my background, I get some tiles. This is the light here. You can actually take the geometry off it. So exit preview. So if I select my light, I can keep my shadow, but display geometry. If you turn that off, you don't get that thing that's acting as the light source, the light. So I'm going to now, I've done that, so preview again. So I don't get that black box showing. I've just got my shadows from the light. There is light falling on this surface from up here, causing these shadows. Okay, and I've got it on a background so I can see something, and that's what this backdrop is. You can change the colour of the backdrop, the textures in the same way. So you can do a wraparound scene as well. Once you've exit preview, you can now, in preview mode, you can turn it around, you can take some screenshots. If you want to, you can download it, but you have to then pay for it. So where it isn't free. However, you can share this. If you click on share to web, okay, and then you go copy link. If you then click open a new tab and put that link in, open it. You get a web page with your model on for looking at and turning around and spinning around. You can share that link with anybody. So this is where you can do a screen grab, you can do whatever you want, but you get a very good, very rendered thing, and it'll take you back, okay? There you are, and you can do your project name, test materials.